What's up, everybody? How are you doing this fine evening? I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well. And as you can see, we're still living in the attic because the television is right behind my shoulder over there. And it's been good so far. It's a little bit hot in here because the central heating, the thermostat, is on the entry floor, and that floor doesn't have heating, so it's getting very hot in here. I just turned off the central heating, so hopefully it will work at some point. Today I want to challenge myself and create something using Gutenberg. I've thought by myself, when I made use of the page builder the last few months, weeks, we can look at my channel, and I've been asking myself, well, what does a good page builder need? What does it need to have? What does it need to do to be relevant for you? And during that exercise, as you can see right here, I've used Greenlight, I've used OllyWP, Edge. We've also been a little bit of vibe coding, Web Studio, Block Era. We've tried several. And my question is, it's fun to try out some things and build something. Hey, how are you doing, Ashutosh? This very long time. It's nice of you to join live. How are you doing? Are you still sailing away, or are you I guess because you're responding, you're on shore, right? But we've been trying different tools, and I would like that to be one of the main things that I'm going to look at for the next couple of weeks. I don't know how long, to just try them out, but in a good and valid way. So I need a testing method. So I went to Figma, and this was my first own setup. What does a page builder need to be used by you? And I want to create a section that's as complete as possible, that we can do everything in there to just test out, does it have everything that we need as a web builder. So for me, it will be dynamic data, either via custom post types or via an API. But the dynamic data needs to be looped in queries, something like ACF or JIT engine. Maybe we can use a Notion if we use API to get them. That we have some way to pull live data. I think reusability is very important. I've been a front-end developer for a year and done some front-end development in my spare time because I think it's just fun. And reusability is the very basic thing that you need to understand and be able to do. So think of components and templates with variations, because you can have for instance, a card like this one, and you want a card where the image is fully fledged, so it's in the total of the card, but it could also be just a tiny image right here. And having a component that you can set variables, but also some kind of toggles to switch things on and off, would be very easy. Hello, if I can stay through the entire... I'm so happy, Annemieke, that you have joined. It's fine. I'm also looking forward to it. Quite possibly, I would like you to talk about accessibility, of course, because that's one of the points that we have made up as well, that for the page builder. But I have a lack of understanding how to determine well enough when a page builder is accessible or not, or the output is accessible. There's already a brain fart. So that will be one of the topics, not listed here right now, but it was in my mind. All right, the third thing that I think is very important is flexibility. I mean, we need to use custom CSS. Perhaps we want to use some JavaScript for putting indexes or some other things. I love to do advanced selectors like sibling selectors or the has selector, or just using the modern CSS and HTML that's available, like dialog HTML element. I also think it's important that the performance is okay. I mean, the output needs to be clean. It doesn't need to be diffception like we have seen in the past, or everything made out of tables, just like how I started. It needs to be also modern, and of course it needs to be semantic, because if we don't have semantic, it's not accessible at all. So the output needs to at least have some way for the developer to create semantic HTML. It would be nice if the page builder does that for us, but if it doesn't, at least give the opportunity to us to do that. Other things, it needs to be lightweight. So I talked to Remkes during WordCamp. It was amazing. He's such a knowledgeable guy and can explain very well and calmly as well. So for him, it's very important that the code execution time is low, that their database queries is also low, so that the performance is optimized. There are ways you can test that. There will be a blog post on his blog where he explains how he tests the performance of each tool. And that's what we're going to do as well in the future, because doing that for Gutenberg doesn't make sense to me. The responsiveness, although intrinsic design is very a nice idea, I think I want to be able to change things at certain breakpoints. Kevin Geary shows that in his videos with using container queries, which I think is very interesting. I have worked with it and it works very well. The benefit of that is that that the card can adjust according to the size it has. So it's very important to be able to do that instead of just the screen sizes. So if it has enough room to be bigger, it can be bigger. Maybe we'll go through that at some point. And fluid grids and that sort of things, all the responsive things. Then I've defined something for extras like pop-up builders or animations, team collaborations, which is very awesome to see in 6.9. We tried to test it out during my job, but it didn't quite work out. I don't know if anybody of you have tried it and was successful in using it, but maybe it's the stack that we use that it is not working at the moment, but that's fine. We can test that maybe in the playground. There it is. I need to screenshot this because this was removed whilst it's not interfering with any of the copyright infringements talked about in the reasons why. So I think Facebook is testing more and more on doing things with AI, and that doesn't work out. So yeah, luckily it's just a comment and not like Jimmy, my whole account. So my question in the dynamic WordPress Facebook page was, I'm looking for the most complete section to build so I can test out different page builders with basically everything we need. Below is a summary of what I think is needed. Are there any other ideas? Facebook. Oh yeah, you're already stuttering. I'm kidding. What does a page builder need according to you? Was my question. And these are the nice folks in the dynamic group that have answered. I think they assumed that I was actually asking which page builder should I use, but I'm already know which page builders I want to use. I just want to check out how can we test out the page builders in a good way. So the first reaction was Edge. And then I asked, then I said, I'm just loving it, but what makes a great page builder? And he didn't reply yet, so I hope that at some point he will reply. Here's a response from Bix Builder. He also says, maps all classes and properties and all other stuff to the HTML. So basically having the ability to adjust the HTML that you will output, handle the CSS classes with variables, very important, I think, as well for reusability. Handles interaction states like active, hover, that sort of things. I didn't mention that in the list, but it's obvious that that is modern CSS that needs to be there. Provides HTML DOM, friendly structure, and the output without unnecessary nesting. Well, yes, of course, when you have a div within a div, I don't want to see that. If I need to put a container within a grid just to place it manually instead of just having the heading tag or image tag that I can put everywhere, because that can be done in CSS, but some builders don't let me position the image in the exact grid that I want it to be. Doesn't output unnecessary CSS and JavaScript, widgets and elements, promotes reusability, and supports next-gen image formats, which I think is common. Here, Timo also added that it needs a great community, which I forgot to add there, so that's a very nice thing. Next one is breakdance. Not really my question, so I asked again, what are things missing? And here's a response from someone else. He's a developer, and developer need other things that, for example, a business owner. And I agree with him. I mean, every type of person that is using a page builder needs something different. A developer wants to be as close as code as possible. Even if you are a real developer, then you just want to write the code. So I wonder if you would go with any of the page builders, or that you just create blocks if you like React or use ACF blocks for that. Then you also have a business owner, as he stated here. You just want a very fast way to create something. It needs to be frictionless, timeless, and easy for the marketing people to create something. And that's what I agree. I have some clients that I work together with during my day job that are marketers and want to create a landing page very easily. They don't want to bother with going into the page builder, trying to set up everything, trying to adjust everything. They just need to have Lego blocks ready to go. So complete sections like we are going to create today, that they can just click and it will be added. Just make it easy for them. And here someone else says 130 native elements, from basic ones like text and that sort of things, are all in the breakdance. So I'm also really curious about breakdance and would try it out. The same goes for breaks, the same goes for edge. I just want to try out everything. Well, the list goes on and on. Interface speed, someone else says query loops is restrictive. You need to be able to loop to any type of data. I can see that as well. CSS variables is being mentioned. Creating layouts in a simplified way for clients. I would say they shouldn't be able to create anything else than custom blocks that we have made, because then you have more control and certainty that everything goes well. I have a client that wants to create something themselves in Elementor, and it didn't go wrong before we launched, so we need to postpone the launch. It will be launching tomorrow, so I'm curious to see what she made and if the adjustments was good enough for her. Very curious. Here Adam says, I want my page builder to build pages. I mean, yeah, that's very very obvious. It was a very nice reply. Timo wanted to join the live stream, but it wasn't there. The Tenet.dev is someone who is following me since the Green Shift days, just like Ashutosh, who is in here, and a few weeks back, I don't remember the name. And he sent me this this video. It was very nice. And he's actually saying, what do page builders want? It's a very American way. It looks like I'm slightly changing of how I look, but it was funny to see this that he generated. Also scares me, to be fair. That someone else can create something with my face. But yeah, it's what happens on the internet. If you put your face on the internet, it stays there forever, right? So it is what it is. And I really like that he made that. It was very funny. I had to laugh very loudly, to be fair. All right. So I tried to create a great list of all the things that was mentioned, and also in a Notion page. So maybe I will give access to this so you can just check it out. So there are different kind of categories that we have. We have dynamic data, reusability, HTML and CSS, performance, responsiveness, core features, Gutenberg integration. Maybe this one should be a little bit down there. Media format support, GDPR and privacy support, UX and speed, the docs and onboarding ecosystem, plugin independence, can handle basics without tons of extra plugins, core feature and community. I think third party Gutenberg integration is missing. Yeah, I think that's a very important one as well. Third party integration. And thus accessibility. Accessibility. It's also very important. I think it's very important to, just like an Edge, nothing out the get-go is ready for accessibility. You need to make it accessible. And I think widgets that are already made by, for example, Elementor, like the tabs, they need to be made accessible right out of the gate. So either the ability to make it accessible and default widgets that are available should be accessible, like tabs. So be able to create accessible websites, and out of the box content need to be accessible out of the gate. Like tabs, accordion, that sort of things. At least you need to be able to tab through. Accessibility, that's called accessibility ready. Yeah, isn't that a little bit dangerous to just call it accessibility ready? Because the tabs and accordion needs to be accessible out of the gate. It doesn't need to be accessible ready. I mean, if you can't tab through it, then you need to do a lot of things to make it accessible. I don't know. But I will take your suggestion and just keep it. Yours is the one who can make a mess with it. That's true. That's very much true. Right? You have a very good point there. I didn't see this. Yes, GreenShift is good. Have what Builderius will be trying it. That's also on the list to be being tried. Third-party integration. Without third-party integration, it gets hard to use a page builder. I don't know how I would put this, right? Because I've been looking at GreenShift for a while, and I saw that there's no specific integration with GreenShift itself. It's either a third-party, integration with Gutenberg, or a third-party integration, for example, with Bricks. I think third-party integration is very important. Support from other makers besides the, what's it called? The page builder itself? I'm a little bit afraid that this contradicts the plugin independence, but it needs to be nice and easy to also expand it, right? Or maybe that's the right terminology. If needed, easy to expand with, for example, shops, e-commerce, CRM. I don't know. What else can we put in there? A learning system. Just to make it clear what I am trying, what we need to check off. I don't know if I'm going to do everything today, but at least the building stuff is the thing that I'm most excited about. So I think quote quality, dynamic, reusability, responsiveness. I think that will be the first ones that we are going to take a look at. Although I think all of them are very important. We need to restrict what we can do in a certain amount of time, because else it can get very boring. I think, well, for me personally, UX experience is so much. If it lags, if the UI isn't snappy, if it feels buggy, just like my prior experience with Droid, I get frustrated if it doesn't work like I expect it to. So for me, Android UX is very important, because else I wouldn't use it. Then being able to add at least CSS and some dynamic data, and reusability is also very nice. But if HTML, CSS at least is there, then you can make the basics one. Accessibility ready means the code is correct for keyboard and screen. I see. Users can also make mistakes with setting fonts as pixels and using curly and funky fonts, for example. Yeah, that's true. Now I get what accessibility ready means. Thank you for helping out into understanding that. Why does it change and does change back? All right. So I think these can be tested right now. The performance is more in depth. The docs is very important. Gutenberg integration, media formats. I think, although this is very important, most builders that I've used support the modern format. I think core features, I don't agree that that's very important. I think third-party integration can be very important. Blocking independence, somewhat. I think accessibility ready is very important, of course. I mean, Annemiek is here, so I need to make it very important. I'm kidding. I think it's important. Gutenberg integration is important. But is it as important? Here, ecosystem. So third-party integration can be removed. Stable roadmap. Easy to expand. So we can remove this one. I will see if I can share this in some kind of way without sharing everything that I have in here. So if people want to test out or check out what I have been testing and what the checkpoints are, I ask Perplexity to make the conclusion, because there was a lot of information there, and it made a very possible solution actually. And then I asked, put it in a table, and I did. And I asked, can you create a database? And I did as well. I mean, I can let my browser do everything for me. It takes a while. It's faster to do it yourself. But if you just want to set it on and then go. All right. So this is what we want to test out and try out, right? But which order should there be? I think it's important to have at least documentation and some onboarding. The community needs to be there because we need to be able to respond. Ecosystem is not that important, I guess. GDPR and privacy, responsiveness. I think I would start here. If we can't find any way of using it, or it's not active, then it's already done. Just like Block Era, unfortunately. I tested that one out a few months back in the beginning of the year. Then they had a promotion, and suddenly we hear nothing from them, which I think is a shame. And I'm also very worried that something happened to Ollie, one of the founders. It's such a shame, and I hope that Ollie is all right. If you see this live stream, then please let me know that you are okay, because suddenly disappearing makes me worried. But yeah, that's what happened during that. So, and that's why I say documentation and community is very important. And I also want to show what I made. So based on my initial findings of what I think I will need, I made this section. And in here we have responsiveness that we can test because everything needs to be in here. We have what's called the has selector, which Dave Dan helped me out with creating how you can blur something that the card looks normal by default, but on hover blurs everything else except the one that's hovering. I'm pulling in dynamic data because you have the job opportunity, the place, the company, the description, and also the amount, the salary amount, and the full time. Then you also have the vacancy closed. Putting something off grid is also very annoying sometimes, and having the ability to have a pointer that's not inside of the grid with before selected. So I think this ticks off a lot of things, and we need to check out if it's usable when it's built and that it is accessible ready. So that's about the building part itself, but there needs to be things before that. It's been a week and a new page builder hasn't been dropped. They're slipping. I think so as well. It was a very weird year that a lot of page builders suddenly popped up or said, we're going to do a different kind of thing, just like Editor V4. I think it's amazing that they are going there, but yeah, it's amazing that they're going there. We can leave it at that. All right. So to test out how good Gutenberg is, I usually start off by just going to a page, and this is in the playground, so you can test it out for free. You have a free sandbox, and it's just amazing to use. So I've put a link in the chats if you're there, and you can just create something. It's just amazing. Look at this. Here we are. And this is going to be our hero. Let's just start creating this section. How much time did we already spend? How much time are we live right now? About 27 minutes. So 27 minutes for the intro. I will check that out later, that I can perhaps cut it up, because I think the intro is very important to showcase what we need to do, and that there are some input also from Annemiek, which is very nice. And of course that people are joining this live stream. I mean, we have 7 people watching. If you are watching, leave a comment in the chat, please. Don't worry, I won't bite. I love that you're watching. Let's see. So we want to build out something like this, right? We have a nice menu, and full site editing is a long time that I've used Gutenberg by default without anything else. So let's see if we can get it to work. So what I see is something stacking. We can do this with a background gradient, which would be nice, or just a negative margin. I think for Gutenberg, I would go with negative margin. We can add a group right in here, and this should be stacked. The width should be full width. And I think in here we need to put another group. There we go. And that needs to be just one. So yeah, I think this one is good enough. Can we set the container for this section? The width of the contents. Let's see. We have a stack and we have a group. Should we change this just to group? Because then default, it goes from top to bottom. Look at that. That looks like a section. We have a group, and then we add in a heading. So we're already stretchy heading. Oh yeah, that was a new kind of thing. We have a heading that we can put in there. I want to change my color. We can change it right here. And here we see the dynamic data in there. So let's see if we can do it right from here. doesn't looks like that we can just dynamically add it. It would be nice that you have a plus button right here that you can add different colors, or if you'd like to, you could change it, not just set it up, also change it. But we need to be somewhere else to do that, if I remember correctly. So let's save this as drafts, go in here, go to appearance, and then we have the editor. Styles, if I remember correctly, and then we have browse styles, and then we can just pick one. I didn't want to add additional CSS. Browse styles, colors, edit color palette. Here we can change things. Did you already define width in the global styles? No, I haven't yet. Have to run, but check it out later. Hope you will do some green light tuts if you have some time. Have a good day and night, whatever you're dealing with. For me, it's evening, and of course I will check out green light to create this section as well. This section will be created over and over again for each page builder to create a as good as possible indicator on how it works. So also green light, like, but I don't know if it will be tutorials other than these kinds of live streams, because I'm more into using the HTML and CSS nowadays than just trying to find the input that I need to have in the right place. I have knowledge, I know how to write CSS, I just want to put in the CSS that I'm using and not fiddle around with all kinds of toggles and buttons and things. Don't you have to start setting global styles in other builders that you use? That's also where you set the colors. Yeah, you are correct, and that's exactly where we are at this point, right? We need to set it. So let's do that right here. Luckily, there are just two colors that I'm using right now. I'm copying it from the other page from Figma file. So this one. Perhaps if you would like to, I can also share this with you guys. Maybe you get inspired in doing the similar kind of thing. I don't think the yellow is very good, but hey, we can change that maybe in the future. We can change it to this color, and then we have a kind of red for the vacancy close kind of thing. And I just want to concentrate on building this time, just to see how things are. So we have a nice color palette that we can work with, that most colors are in there, so that's good. Review change, we have some custom styles that we have changed. All right, let's do that. Good evening, Dennis, how are you doing? Finally, oh, nice that you are here. Loving, love it. It's the Reno buddy. I'm curious. Is Reno doing a live stream soon? I haven't seen it live for a couple of days. Maybe I also saw that he was traveling, so maybe he just celebrates holiday. Green light UI and can be confusing, but if we use variables, then simply we can map the WP preset variables and make the whole theme in a single style format. So using theme.json, I guess, right? I don't know if I'm right, but let's see. In styles, we go back. We can go to these are the colors, typography, and we want to change it to what kind of typography did we use? Let's see. Settings, rag. So this is also from other. No idea. Oh, Roboto is the font. Can we install fonts? Allow access. Roboto. So that's very easy. We can select Roboto. Select them all. And let's install. Select them all and let's install. And here we have Roboto. Yep. I want this. This needs to be selected. This one. Update. I don't know what we are updating. Update. It's fine. Roboto is now added. I want to change this one because I'm not using Fira code. Oh, suddenly it's gone. Oh, it's not. It's just not selected. We are not able to remove them. It's fine, I guess. Then for the texts, we want that to be large. I want this to be medium, but I don't know what medium means. Medium means 1 rem. That sounds fair. Then we have links. Links should also be medium. Oh, if you don't select anything, would it be by default? And what would the default be? It's not, I'm not able to deselect it, so, and decoration, underline, that's good. Then we have headings. We have all, default can be different. H1 needs a line height of 1.1. H2 usually needs a line height of 1.2. This needs to be 1.2 as well. Here we go, 1.3. And this is really 1.5. And this is also 1.5. So those are the headings. No, and Iron Man. What template is this? This is this template is what's called the 2020 template. It's just plain Gutenberg, what I'm using right now. I just wonder, yes, I want them all. I want all the Roboto versions. Set your font sizes first. You can have them to be fluid. Set your font sizes first. But where do I find? Oh, here are my presets. Look at that. All right. So I guess extra large is H1, maximum minimum, but I don't see any way of changing the height. So I'm assuming that's different. It should be more up there, I guess, because here we have the atomics, right? For the typesets, for the fonts. Then I expect the font size to be set, and then we can select the elements. So I would change it up, or put these first, and then the rest of the things, because these make up what we have right there. So I will change settings. XL. Oh, yeah, that's actually basically what I would expect. It was already set up right way below for, yeah, font size presets. Buttons. Oh no, it's stuck. Error, copy error. Oh dear. Can we save the changes? And then refresh. Don't forget to drink, by the way. I have some time time for tea, right? Please don't say I lost my settings on Playground. I guess I did. So next time I won't be using the Playground. Perhaps I'll be using something like Studio. No, I'm all set. Let's see. Come on, buddy. Figma, you shouldn't leave me as well. And that's the second thing that I want to try. I was very convinced that this could be a very nice option to be used instead of what we used in the past, which is InstaWP. But yeah. So refreshing makes it go away, I guess. I thought that there was a persistent setting that you can set that it will persist and not be temporary. File browser, that's awesome. Blueprint, database, open adminer. Admirer. Yep, can't find it. Export, download, homepage, WP admin, blueprint, database. Because this is saved inside of your blueprints. You can save this as a blueprint. This is temporary, changeable, lost on refresh. Yeah, where is these settings? Apply. Damn it! I just replaced everything again. Local WP, then all is gone. I know for sure that there was a way to make them persistent as well on the Playground. But we can find it right now. All right. I can be stubborn, or I can just go back to InstaWP and do it right there, because if something goes wrong, that we can just use it. Add site 6.9 version 8.3. Next, I also want to try out ZipWP. Let's do that next time. Let's first just do it on InstaWP. We know that this works, so add a point. Good stable stuff. Yeah. Never refresh. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot about that. It's my default way of thinking, you know. When something goes wrong, hit refresh and it will fix your problems. 9 out of 10 times it will do that. Either that or clearing cache. The amount of times I had. You promised you had it fixed by this afternoon and still not fixed. Have you tried clearing your cache, perhaps? Clearing my cache? What? And then it was fixed. That's what happens from time to time. I'm loving it. And usually I'm the dumbass asking the question why it's not fixed and then forgetting to clear my, to be fair. Let's see. Let's go in here. I blew up my entire webinar once using Playground. Ooh, blew it up. How? Now I'm very curious, Annemiek. Juicy story. Have you tried hard refresh? Yeah. Yep. Have you tried to turning it off and on again? Let's see. I'm going to make this easier to just paste in the colors that I'm using. Yeah, save. Next one, we're going back into not the colors, we're going to back into typography and font sizes. That really needs to be put up here. All right, first I want to add a Roboto. And Annemiek was right, we don't need all of them. Let's see which version we are using right here. We can disconnect it. That's the color. Which typography? Disconnect. Enter. No, it's not enter. It is enter. All right. I didn't expect that. Enter. I guess it's enter bold. So let's disconnect again. Yep, bold. Normal bold is what was bold again? 700 or 800? This one's black. That's something I do know. Let's go with 800. 400, 600, 700. Yeah, really? That's the default? 400, 600, and 700? Not 800? 700. All right. Calm down. Robot. I'm kidding. Thank you. Let's go back. So we now have the fonts, then we have the font presets. I think those are good enough. But these are the font sizes. I also want to change the font line height, especially for headings, because H1, if that one's very big, I really dislike that. So usually I put this very close, and this one a little bit more, something like this. And the H3 is 1.2 for definitely. This one's 1.35 if I remember correctly, and this will be around 1.5-ish. And the rest will stay the same as well. Preview change. Save the custom styles. And that should be it. Typesets. I don't care about typesets if I just create this one, right? Oh no. It changes everything. I don't want that. It's nice though that they have it, but preview change. Cancel. Can we go back a version? Back again. Yep, this one. This is nice. This looks nice, the revisioning part. Great job, WordPress core team. Preview chains and save. Saved by the bell. 700 is bold, 900 is black. What is 800 in this case then? I'm very curious. Let's create a new page. What? Goodbye. Right. How do we Shift Alt Z? Shift Alt Z Z. Heavy. It's heavy, man. Heavy metal. Good to know. Thanks. This needs to be full width, and then we add a heading. I think that we want the image in there as well, so maybe we can do a 2-column kind of thing. So we can do a row, and in the row we have a heading, and in the heading, stretchy heading. Why do they have 2 versions of heading? While stretchy heading feels like a variant on the normal heading. It is what it is. One step closer to your perfect match. Perfect match. No, this is not a dating channel, by the way. If you're just joining, I can't get used to Gutenberg. Yeah, I can understand that. It's still difficult to completely understand, but it's fine. It's fine. You can create things. It needs to connect with you. That's something I do understand. Not everybody has that connection, special connection like I have with Gutenberg. We're very tight buddies, Gutenberg and I. Oh, it's the UI. All right. It's the problem of the UI. I can teach you, and I can do as well if needed. Let's see. Right. We have a row, and I guess I didn't put my image in the row. Yep. I think for a lot of people that have never worked with WordPress or any page builder at all, this experience is very nice. Just like Notion, I really like that you can use dash to type in the thing that you want to add, just like a Word document. Ooh, that's nice. Annemieke is going to teach Dennis, so I'm curious if that will happen. No, it's the UI. It's the UI. Let's see. We want this to be the blue section. I'm still looking sometimes at this screen just to find out how things work. We have the group, background blur. Where can I find... Ooh, what's this? This is not what I signed up for. Dev. It's going to be dev mode. Article. Did I just put an image in there? I'm special. I'm special like that. I just put in an image. Rectangle. Yeah. I'm very special. Why would I do that? Download all images. Right. We need to find a different image for our specific use case right here, because this won't work. No, this isn't an image. The image is back there. Where's the image? Container, article. Still saying that's an image. It's not an image. Give me the background. Background blur. It should be the article. Article should have the image that I'm using. Apparently not. So we're not going to fuss about it and just go on with it. Go on with it. Oh, look at that. That's very readable indeed. That is much better. No, this guy needs to move up to the right side. I just want him to touch the right side when it's laptop format, and if it grows smaller, he needs to come with the screen, so then he will be more like go this way. So this needs to be adjusting. Justin Bieber. And if it goes bigger, it doesn't need to be bigger than this, but it just looks nicer on bigger screens. We can set up a Zoom call. Ooh, that's nice. Wake hack more. We can do both. We'll be looking at new ways building sites at work, but I am the only one who does WordPress. Really? All right. I think Annemieke is going to sell you grade. Because it's a great match. And a great opportunity to work together. Let's see. Right, we want to change that one. This doesn't need to be bigger. It needs to be smaller. So we change this. No, I don't think I want to use pixels. -20, 50, 100, 180. How do we do that? We need to know what the margin is, right? I think a little bit out there. Ooh, that looks nice. That looks very pretty. -10, that's 160 pixels. Should be fine. This is an H1, so it can be much bigger and needs to be bold. Didn't we set up that it needs to be bold in the backend? I think the line height's good though. Perfect. Almost matches up. Nope. All right. Good evening. Have a good evening yourself as well, Ashutosh, and thank you for joining. You have to learn basic Gutenberg first. Only then do you understand. Only then do you understand the way and the limitations of powers Gutenberg has. Sorry. I hope my Yoda is not too off-putting. Let's see. Let's add in a loop. Choose. It looks like a card. Is it the same as any of these? I guess so. We can use something like this. And then we just change the design. We can change it in here, right? I don't know if this is faster. Let's find out. Columns. We want one column. And everything's gone. Nice. Featured image, title. I guess this needs to be a cover block. So we need to remove that. And then in here we can add a cover. And oh yeah, we need to find a different background for this. Maybe I can find original picture that I've used somewhere. Look at that, I found it. I'm so good. I'm so good. Original source image. Let's download it to be project controller. Save. And in here, there we go. A very happy corporate family. And in there we need to add a title. I'll figure it out. And most of the customers want Elementor and Breakdance. I haven't used Breakdance, so I'm very curious how you would use it. I can understand Elementor. I mean, there's a lot of people knowing that. Much I love you. The force is strong within you. Or with you. May the force be with you. It's more like Kermit, I guess. Let's see. We have some title right here. Job. Opportunity. Then we have the place. This should be a group because it is the smaller and it needs to be a different spacing. So let's put it in a group. And it can be a stack. In there we have the place holder. You get it? Placeholder. What is the place or the city / shitty? city. Company name, paragraph. I didn't need to type company name. So that's one. Then after, we can just put another paragraph, a little description. So if you don't know what I'm trying to recreate, I'm now here, part on the card. I'm right here, part on the card, and trying to add some things. Let's add this needs to be a row your boat, and in that row we need a group with a paragraph, and the paragraph needs to have 4,000 US dollars or 6,000 a month, not a year. That's how we rock in the Netherlands. We say what you can earn in the month, so you know your monthly income instead of yearly, and then need to recalculate what kind of things you need to pay per month and what your income is. I mean, what makes more sense? Just like the metric system. I mean, right. Never mind what I mean. 32 to 40 hours. It's ours. It's not yours, it's ours. Breakdance is nice in a way. All right, I need to test out. How are you doing? How are you doing with the Reno? Is it going somewhere? How am I doing? I don't know. But my question is, take these reviews. You only put in the content now and do styling afterwards. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I usually do. First, I start off with building. Actually, I love to work way faster. So first, all the HTML, all the structure be set up, and then do the styling afterwards. And after that, dynamic data. The renew of your house. Yeah. Well, that's going great, actually. We're still waiting until the floor is hardened enough. If I remember correctly, it will be this week. So the 11th of December, we should be able to turn on our central heating. That's tomorrow. But I need to verify that one with our contractor, if that's even possible right now, or that we should need to wait for a time. Let's see, can we change this to yeah, heading 2. That looks very tiny. I want you to be bigger. I want you to be bolder. That looks better. Oh, sorry. And we're now in my girlfriend is running a course where she wants to become a teacher at school. And takes a lot of her mental energy and time. So currently she's not able to, how about pick a floor, but the flooring is on its way. In the sense that we have decided that one of the kind of types of flooring is something that we don't want, and we have a preference for the other one. And that's very relaxing for me because I know that we can at least move forward. All right, let's see. I'm also very curious, Dennis, how do you build your websites out? You build them section by section and then design it and then put in the dynamic data? Do you start out with dynamic data and then build everything out? I'm curious to your workflow, and for you as well, Webinot, or should I say Jimmy? How do you build out your website? yeah, it's really nice here. I'm becoming happier by the moment. Opportunity 1. Let's see. We want to have some radial. Can we set it up somewhere? We have a border and we have a border radius. Now, I see we don't have a way of using variables right here. So we need to remember that the default radius is, what is it anyway? What is the default radius? Radii. Ooh, Power Rangers. Hello, brother. Yep, I'm live today instead of yesterday. because of some things that I needed to do. Let's see. We have a link with a vacancy. We have, again, I'm looking at this. Well, it looks like I'm getting, oh, here we have it. 8 pixels. Right. 8 pixels. What's that? Like half a RAM, right? Half RAM. And we have the job opportunity. And now I want some kind of gradient in the background. How do we set up that one? Here in styling, overlay. I guess it's an overlay. I want to start off with, where are my default presets? Where are my presets? Where are my single color presets? All right, let's go back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's, ooh, that looks nice as well. But we don't want that. We want the overlay to be 180 linear, and I want the opacity to be quite strong, because then it makes sense. Ooh. There we go. Maybe we need to add some distance to the top here, so we can add some kind of margin, or make the cover block some kind of height. Let's see that we have at least a minimal height. I guess we need to fix it in the padding and margin. We have dimensions. Yeah, no padding or margin available right there. We do have settings. By the way, how are you doing, little brother? If I have time. Oh, it depends on the deadline. If it's harsh and short deadline, I set all the elements first and then style, because then I usually already have the design in mind. I see. But if I have time, I just design step by step, section per section. All right. So usually I like to create a design in Figma and then do the structure first in HTML, that everything is in there. Then setting up the classes and that sort of things that we have. A good way of naming them. Sometimes I will add dynamic data first, but usually I start off with CSS, just making everything work and look nice, and then the dynamic data addition. So good. Was gaming with friends? Oh, nice. I hope you are all well. Yes, that I do. Did you just use rem for styling border radius? I was distracted, but if a user sets his font size to be larger in the setting of the browser, the size of the root element is changed. Ah, you are correct. So rem is good in this case, right? I mean, if they change the font size, the border also needs to change accordingly, because the fonts is the one that is very important to follow. No, I'm kidding. This should be 8 pixels. You are right, Annemiek. I'm still playing around with what needs to have the RAM value. What's most logical, like padding. Does padding need to be a RAM value? Does it need to scale dependent on your text? I would say yes, but the other way around. So if the text is getting bigger, the spacing maybe should be smaller, because people are more interested in reading the text. It does not. I hope it is about the padding that also needs to be fixed, instead of based on the RAM values. So talking about padding, let's put some padding on the texts as well. It's going somewhere. All right. I think with half an hour we are pretty far. I will make this InstaWP version to be not expired, so I can use it next week, because I I'm getting a little bit tired, to be fair. It's already 1 hour. Half an hour for setting up what we are trying to do and half an hour for doing these kinds of things. Setting up a little bit, trying out how this works. And we have an initial setup. I'm very pleased what we have in 30 minutes, actually. Is it reusable yet? Not yet. Is the design there? Was it easy to build? I guess so. I think the user experience with needing to go into the full site editing to make changes to the design is something that I don't prefer. If possible, I would like to be able to adjust it here as well. So if there's a color set, but there's not the color that I want to use, would love to be added right here. But doing it in the full site editing part is good enough. I mean, I am exception on what I want, but having to do that in here, it's fine. It's good enough. So thank you all for watching today. We spent 30 minutes explaining what I researched. If you have any remarks on what needs to go in a very good page builder, let me know in the comments down below. Because I love to learn, I love to understand what your specific things are that you need for your page builder to work properly for you. And also what the page builder needs to do. For example, the reusability that we have discussed, or the dynamic data, or maybe some API integration. Please let me know in the comment down below. And if you don't want to miss out next week, we're going to continue this build just to see how Gutenberg, the default editor, can be used for building websites. I think understanding how things work, the basics at least for the Gutenberg itself, is already amazing to just build out this section that you can see right here. I will leave a link in the chat and description as well, that you can see how this works. Thank you very much. And you guys are awesome that you have joined today. I mean, Ashutosh, you have just left, but it was nice that you were here. Long time speaking to you. Jimmy, of course, and CloudSec, was very nice to be there. Annemieke, we didn't talk a lot WordCamp. It's what happens, but I really love that you were here during the live stream. I really want to, at some point, also take a look at accessibility and understand how we can perform a like 80% way of getting there, because yeah, you also need to be understanding of the user that's using and building the website. I mean, adding a button with lees meer or read more isn't just going to cut it. You need to be give more context for people to be there. So would love to take a look at your website and into the content that you already created to see what we need to do. Dennis, thank you for joining. Hopefully we can see and catch each other again at Reno's live stream, or else next week. I will be here on Tuesday. Jimmy, thank you. Little brother, thank you as well. Have a good night. It needs to be monkey proof. I love monkey proof. Yeah, what a bummer. Let's meet up sometime and nerd out in real life. Yeah, let's do that. I hope that I can manage to do something for next year to go to CloudFest and WordCamp EU. So perhaps we could meet there, and yeah, let's see what we can do. And thank you all. Accessibility is progress over perfection. I love progress. Have you seen my website, Annemieke? Have you seen my website? The best example of progress over perfection, because my God, it's ugly. But it's the first iteration I could build in like an hour to have something up there for the tutorials. This is the companion page actually for all the videos that I made, not the live streams. Maybe I should put the live streams in there, I don't know. Also the pre-builds, the things that I already built that you can copy and paste when you're using Edge. I'm trying to figure out to do other ways that you can copy and paste the HTML, CSS, but also for Bricks Builder and Elementor and that sort of things, that you can use the tooltips and that sort of things. I mean, this is the greatest example of progress over perfection. It's not perfect by any means, but it's there. It's the first version, minimal viable product. And the next version is going to be better with each day. Put it in your calendar. Nice. I'd love to see you as well. What page builder? I will have a look. What page builder? Edge. Yeah, Edge. Yes. I'm into build areas. Yeah, I will be. I definitely want to do that as well. Am I muted? All right. Then I guess I just need to go. All right. Bye-bye.